Most business owners trying to get clients from YouTube are fixing the wrong thing. Editing, packaging, tags. But actually, every single one of these things is irrelevant if your hook is broken. Because a bad hook means nobody watches. And if nobody watches, nothing else you build gets seen. The hook structure I'm gonna show you today is the same one I used to close clients from videos with 200 views. Now, we'll go over the 4 mistakes that are killing your hook right now, the exact 3-part formula to write a hook that actually works, and a buyer psychology layer on top that turns viewers into people ready to book before you even mention your offer. Now, before we get into everything I just mentioned, you have to understand why the hook even is the bottleneck. You see, every decision your viewer makes happens in the first few sentences. It even happens before they click on the video. You see, the first decision is the thumbnail and title. If they make that decision, in the first 30 seconds they will decide either to stay or leave. And if they leave, nothing you build gets seen. All the value you provided in the video, no one hears it because your hook is broken. Most people see low views and assume it's a distribution problem. They post more, maybe hire an editor, change their packaging, try new thumbnail styles, provide more value in their video. They spend more time on all of that, but nothing moves the needle because the hook is still broken. And that also means the algorithm has no reason to push it. If you fix the hook, the distribution starts working too. And the reason most hooks stay broken isn't lack of effort. It's 4 specific mistakes. And once you see them, you'll spot them in your own videos as well. The first mistake is single subject, single question violation. You see, your hook has 2 jobs at once. Lock the viewer onto one specific topic and plant the same question in their mind. Not a similar question, the same question. So an example of a sentence that breaks this rule is, here are 3 things that grew my business this year. See, grew how? Revenue, YouTube, team size. Multiple viewers see this in multiple ways. And you don't want that. And a good example instead would be the 3 things that took my coaching business from 2 to 8 clients a month using YouTube. There's 1 subject, 1 question. Every viewer who stays is the right viewer. The subject is clear, how to get more clients using YouTube. The same question, how are we using YouTube to do that? Every viewer who stays is the right viewer. Now, a little cheat code. You can ask the question directly in your hook. How do service business owners book calls from YouTube without a big audience? Subject and question locked in 1 single sentence. Obviously, just to clarify, this is not the whole hook like I'm showing right now, just that's the part of it. And you should also ask yourself this simple question when you're writing every single one of your hooks. Can this hook be misunderstood? What single question does it plant? And if you can't answer both immediately, you should rewrite it. So this was the first mistake. Let's go over to the next one, the 3-hook misalignment. You see, not many people talk about this, but every video runs 3 hooks actually. What you say out loud, what text is on screen, if you use text obviously, and what the viewer sees visually. All 3 have to say the exact same thing. So a bad example of this would be the spoken hook. Why most coaches can't close discovery calls. Text on screen would be sales tip for coaches, and a visual. You in a dirty room, clothes ring around, maybe some bad camera quality, bad lighting. Basically you looking unprofessional. Maybe all of these things are related in some way, but the viewer's brain registers friction and the viewer bounces. Instead, what you should do is, this is how to grow on YouTube in 2026. Text, how to grow on YouTube in 2026. And a visual, clean room, good lighting, you looking professionally. There's 0 cognitive load. The viewer's brain processes all of that instantly and the viewer stays. The rule is simple. After writing your spoken hook, make sure the other 2 match. Now, before we get into the mistake 3 and 4, I just want to say that if you don't want to spend weeks or months perfecting all of this, I run a YouTube content agency where we take care of all of this done for you. Editing, scripts, thumbnails, everything. If you want to know more, just click the link in the description and let's go back to the video. The first mistake is visuals are not unique enough. Before a viewer hears a single word, they've already decided to let the video play. That decision happens in under 2 seconds and is almost entirely visual. Your brain basically sees before it hears. It scans for contrast, color and motion different from everything else in the feed. If your visual blends in, the brain skips it before the viewer consciously sees it. If you look just like everyone else, just a standard talking head and with a natural background, business casual basically, you're invisible. There are two simple fixes for this. The first one, set up a background that contrasts your category. This is basically branding. For me, it's warm colors, that's what I do. I'm wearing a brown hoodie and I have warm lights. And the second fix is quality B-roll or motion graphics. For example, I use clean motion graphics that my editor makes. And that differentiates me from others. So yes, hook isn't just the words you say, it's also the visuals. And a good tip, you can build a swipe file. So every time you watch some video and it stands out, you can just save it and study what the visual did. Now, the last mistake is writing hooks from scratch every time. I see so many people make these mistakes, like almost everyone makes this mistake when they start out with YouTube. Before sitting down and recording any video, you try to invent a winning hook from nothing. And the problem is that that's guessing, and guessing has a terrible hit rate. And the fastest path is data. If you have any existing videos with traction, even one that slightly outperformed the others, that's where you should start. You should break down your hook and ask what was the hook structure, what subject did it look in, what question did it plant, what was the angle of it. You can pull that template, name it, remix it, and run winners until they stop working. And if you don't have any videos yet, study channels in your niche or any adjacent niches. But don't study the biggest names. Study more niche channels, because the biggest names are carried by their brand. For example, some person with 1,000 subscribers, maybe a few thousand views on videos, means the hook structure itself did the work. Find a few of these, extract the pattern, and build from there. Every hook written from data beats every hook written from instinct. So just stop playing on hard mode and study it. Now, you know exactly where the hook breaks. So here's the formula to build one that doesn't. It's made out of 3 parts. The first part is the context lean in. It has 2 jobs: make the topic unmistakably clear, so the right person self-selects in. And the second job, get them leaning forward via their situation or pain. A bad example would be, today I'm going to talk about YouTube for business owners. The topic is clear, but there is nothing to lean toward. But a good example would be, you've been posting YouTube videos for months, you're putting in the work, but your calendar is still empty. You see, there's common ground here. The right person just feels seen. They feel like you understand their pain, and they are already leaning in before you said anything contrarian. And a very important thing, the length. It shouldn't be more than 2 to 3 sentences. Its only job is to lock the right person in and get them pulling toward the next line. And the next part would be stop interjection. This is the stun gun, as I call it. It's one contrast word, one short line that stops the lean dead in its tracks. Basically power words like but, however, yet, turns out. This is what I did for the intro of this video. Very important, this is not the payoff. This is the setup for the payoff that we're gonna do next. Its only job is to redirect momentum and force the viewer to the next sentence. For example, but it's not a posting problem, but the videos aren't the issue. Turns out, consistency has nothing to do with it. It's one simple line, and then we go immediately into part 3, which is the haymaker. Land in the complete opposite direction of where the lean-in was pointing. And the bigger the gap, the harder the curiosity loops snaps open. You see, the lean-in pointed toward more views, more posting, better distribution, and what we do here is we obliterate that assumption. So we say something contrarian. The reason your videos aren't booking calls is one thing, and it's the first 3 sentences of every video you've ever posted. And now the viewer brain is hunting. How can 3 sentences be responsible for all of it? And the viewer has to watch to find out. That open loop carries them all the way to the next section. So think of all of this as a car speeding at 70 miles per hour, and your job is to make the driver see something, hit the brakes, turn around and come back. So a full hook based on all of this would sound like, you've been posting for months, calendar still empty, but it's not a posting problem. The reason is one thing, the first 3 sentences of every video you've ever posted. So this is the structure for the hook. We show the pain, then we use the stun gun, and then we say something contrarian. Very simple. Now, that formula gets people watching. But if your goal is to book calls, there's a layer on top of this that turns viewers into buyers. Because potential buyers are not just casual viewers. They are more sophisticated, they are more skeptical. They already heard all of these promises you make. And a hook that works for the general audience doesn't work on them. It gets filtered out. And there are 3 adjustments you should make to make this work. And if you're thinking, isn't this overcomplicating the whole thing? No, it's not. Those aren't extra steps, this is mandatory. Now, the first part of this layer is that you shouldn't open with the core desire. For me, it would be something like get more clients from YouTube, but this would trigger the bullshit filter. Every low quality offer from other content agencies use this exact line. What you should do is lead one step removed through a tactical adjacent pain. For example, why your videos aren't booking calls. It's basically the same core desire, but through a specific pain, just another angle. So the viewer makes the leap themselves, desire is felt, and the skepticism never fires. It's still the same video, but a completely different conversion rate. The second part is every word of doubt is a micro exit door for a skeptical buyer. For example, words like if, might, could. Each one of these gives them permission to leave. And what you should do is replace all of that with certainty. For example, if you say, if you try this, instead you should say, when you try this. If you say, this might work for you, then you should say, the reason this works. If you say, this could change your results, say, this is what changes results. You hear the difference, and you have to understand, certainty isn't arrogance. I hear this a lot, like people say, oh, but I would sound arrogant, like I have a big ego or something. But actually it's the signal buyers are looking for. Doubt, as I said, is a micro exit door. The viewers are unconsciously waiting for it so they can leave. And the last part is that buyers want a direct conversation, not a broadcast. The moment your hook sounds like a webinar intro, for example, today we are going to cover 3 things, you already lost them. Your hook, or even your whole script, should dominate with you in every line. One viewer, one problem, one conversation. A bad example would be, in this video we will cover the strategies business owners use to grow with YouTube. Instead, you should say, if you've been posting YouTube videos and your calendar is still empty, this is exactly why. The right hook for the right person should feel like it was written specifically for them. Also, this rule, it's not only for the hook. In my opinion, you should use it in the whole video, as well as this one. This is not just for the hook, you should use it throughout your whole video. Now, there's one more thing. Most people skip it even after fixing their hook. Because even when the hook makes them stay for the next 30 seconds, attention still drains after those 30 seconds. The curiosity loop you opened with your hook slowly closes. And if you don't reopen it after a while, the viewers will still leave even after the first 30 seconds. So the fix, you should drop a loop opener around the 33% of the video mark. And there are 2 moves in this order. The first one is validate. Confirm the value of what they just heard in the last section of the video. I actually did it in this video. Right after I mentioned the mistakes, I said, now you know exactly where the hook breaks, here's the formula to build one that doesn't. 3 parts always in this order. I validate it, I confirm what you just learned, and I immediately open a new reason to stay that's valuable for a completely different reason. I basically reset the attention clock before it runs out. And I'm not summarizing, it's just a single simple sentence. I'm basically stacking the value. There's another example. Now you know how to make a great hook. This is me validating, and we are teasing. There is still one thing that's killing your results. Very simple, very easy to add to your script after every section, and it keeps the viewer watching. Now, if you want me to help you with all of this, done for you, editing, thumbnails, SEO, uploading, scripts, that's what I do at Vero Media. The only thing you do is record 2 hours per month. Everything else is taken care of. The link is in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, see ya.